Once again, the Squared Circle Jerks are back to deliver you WWE Smackdown review. I'm Mike,
Yes, you are.
and he's Byron.
Hi.
And let's kick this pig. This is the May 30th, 2017 show, and we start off SmackDown with the five-way ladies promos, which is just a lot of meh.
Pretty much.
Wasn't going to be any better, so no real complaint, just meh. Although, I miss the days when a wrestling show would open up with like a hot match to get things rolling. It's just something that seems to be a lost art.
That is always good.
So, that's my gripe. Anyways. Then we have the Kevin Owens highlight reel, which it did its purpose. It set up the tag match that was coming up next. We got a bit of a beatdown on Shinsuke Nakamura, who was Owens' guest, but Baron Corbin also came out to I guess say his piece, and there was a bit where Baron called Kevin Owens Cartman, which was, that seems to be the thing they're going with now.
Here's my deal. Baron Corbin's still really, really awkward with written lines, and I'd love to see him. I'd love them to never give these wrestlers written lines ever again. That's my ultimate goal. But Baron's just really not comfortable reading or memorizing and reciting a script, and you could really tell with this promo.
Yeah, I mean, there may be a wrestler out there who needs the scripting, but I don't know. I think if you have a potential star, I think you just give him a couple touchstone things and tell him to go out there and basically cut the promo he feels like cutting.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, okay, I need these 3 bullet points covered. Go do.
But this wasn't terrible, so it's a reasonable pass for now. So they were beating up Nakamura. Sami Zayn made the save, and we get Nakamura and Zayn versus Owens and Baron next up. And I enjoyed the mind games with Baron Corbin, played by Shinsuke Nakamura. I think it works really well with his kind of new guy, somewhat rookie status.
Mm-hmm.
So mind games work well with that. There was also a pretty nice reversal Baron hit on Sami Zayn, where Sami goes for the tornado DDT and gets power slammed. That was actually one of the better spots of the match, which is kudos to Baron, but also a bit of a this match could be better moment.
Yeah, it's just another. I'm still stuck in the rut of I've already seen these matches, and I have to. If I'm going to watch the pay-per-view, this match is going to be on the pay-per-view again too. And this match could be done very much better. And really, the only hook you've got in me right now is if I watch the pay-per-view, and the pay-per-view match is the match that I want to see. Awesome. If underlined, bold-faced, italicized, if that's the match that's good enough to be shown that these guys should have been having the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the thing is that it feels like really dragged out, lazy booking that they're working right now, and it would be fine if that was kind of like one feud, but it's like all of them. Like you have this going on too long, you have the five-way women stuff going on too long, you have Kendrick versus Tozawa went on for really probably too long.
I actually like that one. That was probably, I mean, that's feud of the year so far. That's the only one they've got that is an actual feud. The rest of these are just like kind of thrown together, vague storyline-ish things.
It kind of lost me, but yeah, the blow-up being a street fight brought some new stuff into it.
Yeah. Well, they didn't really do a good job of keeping people updated or really publicizing it. But so far, they don't have any other feuds, so that's feud of the year for WWE. But I mean, even the Noam Dar feud has gone on for way too long.
I have thoughts of that for 205 when we come along to that.
I think they should call that duo should be known as the Rockettes because they're just showing all of the leg all of the time.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. But like it's just this general problem of since everything's dragging out, we're just seeing kind of all the matches, and like having them go out there and do a paint by numbers match is becoming boring because we've already seen the paint by numbers match.
I mean, I've seen other
And
people have that match, for crying out loud.
well, that's kind of the thing, is you're getting it with like just all of them, and it's scaled up the entire product, really. Anyways, we get the end with Sammy throwing Kevin Owens into basically Baron's butt, causing the heels to get into a little bit of a kerfuffle, and then we ended up with Kevin Owens getting absolutely laid out by Baron, which good punch for Baron, and then Nakamura hits the Kinshasa for the win. It's a smooth match, but they're capable of doing so much more, and it feels like every other match on the card because of how paint by numbers.
I still not sure why they're not letting Shinsuke get over. Like, they're deliberately not letting him do things in matches. Things that I'm used to seeing him do on a regular basis, they're not letting him do.
For this match and the other SmackDown match, I get it, because you're kind of saving it for the pay-per-view because of this long stretch. But the pay-per-view match he had with Ziggler was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, they already tried that and it didn't work.
That should have been a lot better. That one is the one that sticks with me. Like, his SmackDown stuff is kind of like just indicative of the product problems they're having right now.
Yeah.
But his pay-per-view match was not great, so I'm hoping Money in the Bank is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's a case of the guys that are working there don't want to work with him, or don't want to work the style that will get him over, or I don't know what it is, or maybe it's just management not doing their jobs correctly.
It's possible, but that would go to management not doing their jobs, because you don't want to work it. You're working the style. That's all. And the thing is that some of these guys have worked a strong style before. AJ Styles, of course, and also Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They've worked matches of similar caliber.
I was kind of hoping to have like a Sami Zayn heel turn, and he'd join forces with Owens, and then we could see Sami Zayn versus Nakamura for like 6 months.
That'd be cool.
I would have a raging boner.
We're not getting that, but that would be cool.
No, but I would need some alone time frequently.
We had the announcers do the hype of the network and also Money in the Bank. Nothing new there. We then had the Usos in the ring. They get the cheap heat, mentioning the Atlanta Falcons, because of course this show is in Atlanta. Eventually, the New Day interrupt after a pretty unimpressive promo. I wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is their first time back since like WrestleMania.
Well, no, like, I enjoyed the New Day stuff because, I mean, case in point, when they went with those titles, we like some, we want some, and we could do this the easy way or the hard way. I had to go watch the Booty Warrior from Boondocks.
Yeah, I caught that right away. He's like, I like some, and we want some, The one thing I did pick up on is that the Usos are just ripping off Cass and Enzo. Their promos are just Cass and Enzo with a
heel
tiny twist. Yeah, just a little twist, but they're in the Cass and Enzo rhythm. They use, I mean, you could probably lay the promos over each other and find that the syllable count's probably even pretty close. It's I'm not really sure why you're ripping off the new guys, but okay.
They've probably been told this is how you get over. I don't know. This just points towards, I think, the general lack of an idea of what actually gets things over within WWE right now.
Yep. And also, whenever they come out, I just see random Uso #1 and Fat Uso, because the other guy's always wearing a hoodie and just like wearing fat guy clothes.
It is true. Like when they wrestle, they're not that much different in size, but yeah, when they come out, it's Jimmy looks huge. Just new wardrobe. Let the fashion police take you out and and improve that a little bit. We got a Money in Bank match between those two teams. It'll be a good match. So I mean, I like the destination we got, but outside of the Booty Warrior thing, not much here. Not really.
No, I anticipate that they'll probably have the Usos retain at Money in the Bank, because they seem to really want to book them strong, and there's no reason for I mean, it's not working for the Hardys. Just booking the face team to dominate everybody. So I'm hoping that the SmackDown guys see what's going wrong with the Hardy push and go, well, we can't do that.
Yeah, but the Usos are the heels, so just like
Yeah.
the dominant face team never really works that well because you need something to cheer for, and
Mm.
no one really likes cheering for the overdog, the favorite to a degree. They like a little of that
Yeah.
underdog feel, and
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you
the
give
only
the face
reason
none of that, there's nothing to go with.
Yeah, the only reason everybody was marking out and has been marking out for weeks for the Hardys or months now for the Hardys is because it's the Hardys. I mean,
Yep.
everybody loves them. The New Day, they had a big run. They're a little overexposed. If anybody had any brains in their pants, which they don't, they will just keep them away from the titles for a while. Give them something to chase. Maybe you could do a heel turn for a little while, and you know what? If they do a New Day versus Fashion Police program with the New Day as the heels, I'm on board for that. The comedy for that, it would be epic. It would be excellent, and the matches would be fantastic.
That's true. I don't disagree with any of that. So if you're not Chris Handsome, I mean, it's all good for you right now.
Handsome.
Calls you Chris Handsome. Now, to be clear, you're choosing the hard way right now. We got a long recap of Jinder's celebration spliced with Indian TV clips hyping. I don't understand. Okay, this is the rant I promised. Okay,
Get him.
so Jinder Mahal.
Sick him, Mia. Sick him.
Jinder Mahal is world champion because WWE wants to get into the Indian market. This is not really hidden at all. The problem with this is that WWE's product in India currently will not benefit from this in any way. Because the idea is they want to sell more subscriptions to the network in India. WWE works under the premise that the network is for new stuff, not so much old stuff. They don't believe that the archives really sell people, which may or may not be true. I don't know. But let's assume that they're correct. In India, you can watch WWE Raw, WWE Smackdown, NXT, and all the pay-per-views for free on a network called 10. You are getting the pay-per-views on a 12-hour delay, but that works for you because apparently the live pay-per-view would be about 5 a.m. for them. So the 12-hour delay actually has it at 5 p.m. That's actually a fair bit better for them. So why would they buy the network if they don't already have it? Like, if they're not already wrestling fans who really like the network because Jinder's champion. They get 205 Live, which doesn't have Jinder Mahal on it. Or any Indians, really. The Singh brothers appeared on it at one point.
They got, what's the other guy who's working the rich Arab Indian gimmick?
Davari, but he's Persian or Arab. They can't make up their mind. And do not think Indians are going to associate that with the same thing. And it's the same thing with Mustafa Ali. He's Middle Eastern. He's not Indian. Well, he's American, technically, but heritage-wise.
Is he from, like, Michigan or something?
Chicago, I think.
Oh, there you go.
So why are you doing this, really? Like, why is this supposed to work? It's not going to move Jinder Mahal merch, because Jinder has one shirt that isn't available in India, so it cannot move there. Unless you're trying to inflate the TV deal and what that's worth to the network or something, create a bidding war, but I don't think that's the case. And this doesn't work because I think Indians are going to realize to a degree that, one, this is just really misappropriation of their culture, and two, that Jinder Mahal's not Indian, he's Canadian. He's just heritage. It's creating a really ugly situation for the world title because it's completely cold at this point, ice cold, and the supposed trade-off is more money in India, which I don't see how that's supposed to happen.
What's the current shirt count on Jinder Mahal that's available for purchase in India?
0.
Oh.
And if you buy the network, will you get more Jinder Mahal in India? No, you already get SmackDown for free and all the pay-per-views. So unless he's going to suddenly have a run on 205 Live, I mean,
I would be in favor.
Not really
of that.
a thing.
That would be, as a fan of the comedy wrestling, that would be the business.
I could dig it. It'd be better than him being world champion. So we move on to the Fashion Files, which has gone full noir style.
That's awesome.
I enjoyed the. It's. I guess Breeze must still be undercover. Oh God, thank you. He thinks I'm undercover. So Tyler Breeze is a crossdresser, apparently.
I could do without the whole cross-dressing angle. I don't think they need it, but it's funny for now.
I don't think it's really going to be per se part of the angle so much as more of I think it was a bit of a throwaway line, just because they thought it would be funny.
Yeah, but then he came out to the ring in the getup. At least he was wearing pants. I suppose.
But I don't think he'll do that next week. Is kind of my point.
Yeah,
I think it was like a one-off deal.
Although I was actually pretty pumped when the janitor made a return.
Yes,
that was great.
But the janitor, I think they have a lot of pratfall stuff they can work with that. So I think that'll be recurring.
They can work them up, like insert person's name here, that mother that could work a pole.
Kinda. They discover that there's some cologne on the floor, and that's it's gonna lead to a feud with the colognes. So
was it ethyl alcohol, tree frog droppings, and hibiscus?
That was what it was, I do believe.
It's fantastic. It actually took me, like, they went to commercial, and I don't know why, maybe I wasn't paying attention, and I'm like, ding! Was that a dig on Puerto Rico? Oh, I see what's happening here.
So, very clever, liked it, enjoyed it, and my only reservation about what it was for the title is gone, because it's not for the title anymore, so this is officially my favorite program.
Exactly.
We had the women's 5-way, which never actually got started. A lot of brawling on the outside, some pretty good stuff. A lot of blindside, good impact. Natty got thrown through a table. On the dark side, Tamina has no idea how to clear a table because she cleared off the plastic bit and then went to do something, and then the first monitor, then went to do something, and then the other monitor, and it's like, okay, you could have just done that in one motion. Next time, economy of movement. Natty went through the table. Becky Lynch had a nice spot of sending Carmella into the timekeeper's booth, which they could use more of. And in the end, Shane McMahon came out and made Money in the Bank for the women. So we're getting a ladies' Money in the Bank match.
I called it.
I don't think it was all that hard.
Fair enough. Fine, whatever.
Although this means that the Naomi's not going to be on the pay-per-view though, right?
Yeah, I guess not. It's probably for the best anyway.
Oh, she's good. She's good in the ring.
I did have some problems with this particular segment, which was this whole suddenly they can't start the match thing.
That was really overplayed.
I really wanted to just turn it off, because how can you even think that anybody's going to buy that for 1/8 of a second?
I would have.
And then after they got the 19th ref out there and they're all surrounding them like fucking digital Muppets, waving their arms, going no, 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 and everybody's just hitting their spot within 1 square meter. It wasn't really put together that well. Everybody did their moves great. Everybody got over, I guess, but it's just so contrived.
Very much so. I would have had the match start and then find a reason for it to be thrown out, massive count out or something, brawling, get out there, brawl all around the ring, ref can't control it, so he just throws it out. That. Yeah. That would have worked better.
If there's no reason to pretend you can't start a match that wasn't supposed to be really regulated that well to begin with, and then you call... I counted at least 4 different refs just kind of wandered out from back, and they just stood around waving their arms randomly going, No, it was like the dude from Rick and Morty, like my man, and he just shows up like, and there's duplicates of him later on.
Yeah, yeah,
That was essentially what happened.
yeah. So that good concept, bad actual execution. Although the girls did what they needed to do, so
Yeah, yeah. Everybody
thumbs
did
in the
well.
middle segment, I guess.
Yeah, everybody did what they needed to do physically and from a wrestling standpoint and all that good stuff. But Jesus Christ,
Yeah, clusterfuck.
do it better.
Then we had Breezango versus the Clones.
Good old Collins.
So yeah, I enjoyed this. Breezango was still in the dress, as you noted, but became the janitor later on. We had water gun spots. We had Fandango hit a great sunset flip powerbomb. We had the Colognes try to use the mop, only to have it fail, and then Breeze hit a unprettier for the win.
I'm actually really glad that that's his new finisher. I think that's
it wasn't a good unprettier, I must say.
No, he's got to workshop it. But the first time he hit it on the Usos, I'm like, unprettier! Like I marked out like not as much as you would for the Rainmaker, obviously, but it was kind of on like, oh my god, that's the perfect thing for the perfect moment. Like I can't believe nobody gave him the unprettier before this.
I swear he's used the unprettier before in like NXT or something.
It's very possible.
Maybe even during his feud with Dolph Ziggler way back in the day when he actually won matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing, is I think the unprettier might have actually been his finisher this whole time. It's just he hasn't been winning.
Oh, well, that could possibly be, because I don't remember seeing him in really hardly anything. I didn't get to see him in NXT at all, and when I got to start watching, I did hear from some people, and like briefly mentioned in some other podcasts that, you know, people were very disappointed that he's been so mishandled on the main roster, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what he was doing on NXT, but apparently it was a lot better than this.
He was doing basically the same thing. It's just he took the same gimmick and became a job guy. That's it. Which I saw coming because he's kind of small and Vince McMahon likes big guys. Preferably of a sweaty variety.
Big sweaty man.
Yep.
Gary Stridham. Wow.
Then we had AJ Styles backstage, and this basically set up his main event with Dolph Ziggler. Stuff about him building momentum. He got cut off, and Dolph actually put over the fact that, you know what? He's the only guy who's won Money in the Bank of the group. There's a reason to think that he might actually be able to win this. He won't, because Ziggler is, of these 6 men, Ziggler is the most the one with the most lacking of any kind of momentum. So, you know, he won't win, but he's making a good point. So logic. I like that. Then we had Randy Orton hit a pro-America promo, and Jinder interrupted, and this was terrible.
I might have skipped that one. I don't remember that at all.
It was basically Randy Orton talking about how his grandfather was of the silent generation. They let their actions do their talking, and his grandfather would have knocked his teeth out for losing the title to Jinder Mahal. That part was good, but they went way too long on. This was the Memorial Day promo, basically. The America is great moment.
Back in my grandpappy's day, he didn't like the darkies.
Yeah, he's basically talking about his family lineage, that Money in the Bank's in his home city of St. Louis. He's going to win. But it's delivered as Randy Orton, and I'm sorry, Randy Orton as a face never does anything for me. It just never does.
He doesn't do anything for me at any point. He's just very boring.
There are points.
Like 10 seconds of a match.
There are points where he's done things for me as a heel, but never as a face. Never as a face. Jinder Mahal just did his anti-America gimmick. USA is in decay. India is on the rise, which is not the most factual thing. Again, also ignoring the fact that he's Canadian. He talks about being the future, and he's going to sweep away the past, which is funny because the anti-American foreign heel's been around since, I don't know, ever. So
George Hackenschmidt.
His gimmick is as old school as it can get. His wrestling style is really old school. He's a product of the, hey, it's a big muscly guy. People will pay money to see that. So literally everything about this title run is old school, but he's talking about how he is the future. Yeah, this sucks. This is dying a death. This has zero logic behind it.
Yep.
Then we went on to the main event between Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles. I liked the start of it. It had good pace to it. AJ hit a very nice fireman's carry neck breaker. That was good. Dolph's mixing in a lot of cheating, which is, again, I like that he's growing into a bit more of a heel in the ring than what he has been in prior heel runs, where he was just basically Dolph Ziggler. Outside the ring, he would cut a mean promo, but in the inside, it's Dolph Ziggler again, guys. And, So I like the fact that he is diverging his heel persona from his face persona in the ring. Needs to speed it up just a little bit. Needs to bring a little bit more speed to it. He's kind of slowed it down a little too much. But you know what? He might get there, and that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, the pacing of the match kind of made me bored, to be honest. Like, all the moves were fine, and the story work was fine, but it was just, they seemed to take 20 to 40 seconds between moves and spots. And eventually I just kind of got, like, I found myself looking up stuff on the internet. Oh, there was a slam on the mat. What did I miss? Oh, there's a replay anyway. I didn't really miss anything. Like, it was fine, but yeah, you're right. These matches need to get quicker. Like, I needed at least a good 30 to 40% more action.
Like, for the first 2 to 5 minutes, actually, it was pretty good. Like, the pace was good, but then, yeah, they slowed it way down. Yeah, it just became another match, and that's not something that should happen in a match between AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler. It just shouldn't. These two guys, I would say these two guys could put on a 5-star match if you give them the time and the pacing to do it.
I would agree. I'm still waiting for that Dolph Ziggler match that I know, or I've been told by people that there's this Dolph Ziggler. He's a hell of a worker. Dolph Ziggler, he's gonna put on a hell of a match, and I'm still waiting for that to happen.
It's not wrong, but the thing is like, he's currently working this real slow style, and I'm the guy who's been, well, one of them. I mean, I'm not far from the only person who said this, but like, he needed to take his pace down about, I'd say 20 to 25%. The problem is he's taken off probably more like 50 to 55% speed, and that's not working. That's a little too slow. I need you to step on the gas a little bit there, Dolph.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not what I enjoy watching. I don't. There wasn't even that there were rest holds. There's been so many rest holds in so many matches in the last month. It's just retarded. There weren't that many rest holds in this match. It was just a lot of rest spots.
A lot of double downs.
Yeah.
Ziggler found some interesting ways to get out of the Styles Clash, so that was good. Really, outside of the pacing, like, this was good. If you'd sped this up a little bit, it would have been a pretty good, like, 3 to 3.5 star match. I would have really enjoyed it. AJ did kick out of the zigzag, but not the super kick, which is not great, because the super kick is like this tremendously devalued. It's not even a finisher right now. It's just not a finisher at this point. And it was used to finish AJ Styles. So that's not great. I'm also kind of disliking this because this is AJ's hometown. I would have given him the win.
Yeah, well, Vince doesn't do that. Vince doesn't do anything that's going to actually help a face, apparently.
Like, I kind of get that, like, no other heels won on this card. Like, Breezango's the faces, they won. You had the faces win the Nakamura, Sami Zayn versus Owens and Baron. So you needed, like, a heel win. I'm not really sure where you would have got it, but I would have put AJ over here. It's the hometown.
Yeah.
Or I would have put AJ in the tag match, and you can bring someone up. You can bring Sammy up here to eat the pin. That would also work.
Yeah.
So that is all for SmackDown. Overall, it's not a bad show, but it's just kind of symptomatic of what's going on right now that's kind of annoying me, that no matches really stand out. There's nothing really great. And it's not even that the quality, it's not like, and I understand like free TV is not where you put your best matches, but there's no personality to the matches. They feel all very much the same. And that's
Yeah,
it's
I
not good
mean,
when you have this diverse of a roster.
yeah, you're not wrong. You don't put your best matches on free TV, but you got to give me something. You got to give me a really, really good match at least once a week from somewhere.
Well,
And I haven't watched NXT yet, but I haven't seen a really, really good match yet from probably in 2 weeks.
yeah, probably. And the thing is, if you're not going to give me a really good match, give me like some enticing storyline. But
Yeah,
on
but
this
right now
show, the only storyline that got kind of advanced is okay, Breezango goes on to something else, but it's with the
yeah,
clones. So who really cares? Like, it'll be good, but there's nothing to get excited about there.
it's still real to me,
And
damn it.
and the Money in the Bank announcement. That was about it, really.
Yeah,
So yeah, pretty much largely kind of a fail on getting me interested. If I was already interested, this would be fine, but I'm just kind of out of it right now because
yeah, it's
this
just
has
not.
been Raw and SmackDown and 205 Live doing the same thing where I'm not
It's
I don't find myself excited at the
it's
end of any show.
it's like Vince and the writers all have heat stroke. It's pretty much what's up.
Yeah. And even NXT last week was not so great. So hopefully this week's NXT rehypes me up.
Good hype,
Brings me
bro.
back a little bit.
Where's Mojo Rawley? This everything could use more Mojo. Put
Indeed,
Mojo on
where is
every
Mojo
show.
Rawley? What the hell?
Put Mojo on every show, and we can all get hyped. Just have him do random run-ins and like plow somebody under, and then run off. Going woo woo.
Just random promos about nothing backstage. Just get hyped.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, what if Mojo Rawley's the one attacking Enzo?
I'd be interested how they could make that happen.
Yeah. What if he comes out and just like instead of colory face paint and trousers and whatnot, that he's coming out in like all black, and he's now super serious football guy.
I mean, maybe, but I think in the end you either have to go with the idea that the Revival is attacking Enzo or that Cass is attacking.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't really
I
think
have-
that there's a door number 3.
I had a thought today. I almost texted you before I got in the shower this morning. I had an interesting idea that will never come to pass, but I thought would get over big time. So what if you're right, or what if the vast majority of the world is right, and it's supposed to be Big Cass actually laying out Enzo? But imagine if they're doing a call up from NXT.
Okay.
So it's revealed that, well, you could either do it one of two ways. You could do it like, oh yeah, Cass is the one that has been laying out Enzo, and then he reveals that he's got a new partner. He doesn't need fucking Enzo fucking everything up anymore. And then Ciampa comes out, and he's back in Psycho Killer mode, and he's Cass's new partner. So Enzo goes and gets Gargano, and you've got like pretty much the most two beloved baby faces against two what would become. I mean, Ciampa's got the heat right now, and if it's Cass laying out Enzo, he will have the heat as well, and you will have all of the baby face versus all of the heel, and that's a promo I could get behind.
That makes a ton of sense, and therefore it won't happen.
Exactly.
But I like that.
Yeah.
The only other door. What can you do on the main roster that isn't Revival? I mean,
I don't know.
they kind of tease the idea that it might be like Titus Brand, but I don't think that works in really any world, really.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, yeah, I don't even want to see it. I don't care.
Also, I think like Titus has like legitimate like motivational speaking stuff. Like it's not all made up. I think they blow it out of proportion on TV, but he does have something. So I think doing like a proper heel run with him is not in the cards. I think this kind of comedy heel is as heelish as he's going to get.
He needs to, maybe he's got a certain phone number in his back pocket.
That'd be a famous phone number.
It could be famous phone number.
Could be. Could it start with a 423?
It could start with a 423. Also, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that they released episode 20 of Lucha Underground today.
Awesome.
So we gotta catch up.
Indeed, we'll do a Lucha Underground episode review coming up probably sometime this week.
Sounds good.
I'd say probably not tomorrow, but probably like Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm down for like a Lucha marathon. I'm good for whatever, dude. I have the whole weekend off.
So look forward to that, everybody. That's all we got for today. Well, actually, this is not all we got for today. So we're going to do 205 Live directly after this, but it will be a separate video.
Yeah, we'll probably package that with... Well, yeah, we'll probably just do it and then package it with NXT and then roll it out tomorrow.
No, we'll do 205 Live tonight, I think.
Well, yeah, totally, but I was just saying we could record it and then record the NXT review and then have them schmozzled together.
I think we have enough to say about 205 Live. So anyways,
Yeah, fair enough.
If 205 Live should be up right after this, enjoy that as well. And that's all we have to say on SmackDown and conspiracy theories about Enzo.
Indeed. Fantasy booking. I'm going to just keep doing fantasy booking stuff.
I'm fine with that. That's some of our more interesting stuff.
Gonna hear it.
So that's our more interesting stuff right there.